Okay, for those watching the replay, I am Violet Diagala, the founder from FemCity, and it is our group coaching session. It's a time when you can hop on and just pick my brain. I'm super excited. I'm also running, by the way, this Thursday's office hours. So if someone missed this one and wants to join me, I'm running the Thursday office hours at 1 p.m. Eastern time for this week. Again. Anyway, I'm going to go through the questions that I received anonymously, and then we'll go ahead and open it up to those that are joining me live. So one question I received is, what is the best advice for keeping your business on track daily? So I love this. And I feel like this could be a class on its own, which I'm happy to do. And I may actually do that. I taught this class in San Antonio this week. And I also not taught just this, but we talked about designing your year. So here's what I do. What keeps my business on track daily is I work on having my goals set in my face all the time. So as an example, my vision for FemCity is to grow into 20 new communities this year and to really expand our reach. That is a huge thing for me. Like just this year, I feel like women need community more than ever. And so what are the action steps that I need to do every single day? So I have my goal there. And every day I review to see what action steps I took in order to achieve that goal. So as an example, if I find, here's a great example. We had a podcast and I reviewed the results of the podcast and I found we were not expanding, we were not growing. So all this effort into having a podcast no longer made sense. So I removed that. So when you track every day your activities and you see if they're in alignment with your vision and you see it's bringing you results, that is how I track every day my activity. I'm a daily reviewer. Like at the end of the night, I kind of go through to make sure, like, what did I do? What did I take on? I do it old school. I have it in my notebook. I write lists. So you can see, I cross them out. That's how I stay on track daily. I'm a huge believer in that. So again, that's like a 30-minute class, and I'm happy to do that for the month of April for our free workshop. All right, this one says, let's talk publicity. So that's a PR class. I did teach that for that person who spoke. That's another 30-minute class. If you go to the FemCity library, there's a class there all about PR and how to get into newspapers and magazines. It's a really good 30-minute class that I taught. In essence, I would sign up for Quoted. It's QWOTED. I would also sign up for Peter Shankman's SOS. Those are both free. Those will sign you up to get notifications of what journalists are looking for. Thinking about your brand, where are your people at? Who's your demographic? So if you're a yoga instructor, then any kind of like Women's Health magazine or Oprah magazine, thinking about who your audience would be. And then when you get those notifications, drop everything and respond immediately, because journalists are really doing a lot of work these days for very little hours. So whenever you get that notification, drop everything and respond. Even if they're asking for one tip, I always respond with 3 tips. And I always respond with 3 tips that are very unique and different that I don't think anybody else would be providing. And that should pretty much guarantee you getting into those publications. Also consider the vibe of that magazine. So Allure and Cosmopolitan have different wording than Wall Street Journal and Washington Post, right? So if you're pitching for one or the other, they're 2 different vibes. Make sure that your wording and the way that you're using your pitch and your angle really identifies with that publication's audience as well. So that will definitely help you. But that's those are great 3 tips right there. Sign up for those 2 platforms, take a look at those. Like they email them out 2 or 3 times a day, drop everything, pitch yourself. Don't provide 1, provide 3 tips, make them so that they're creative out of the box, and make sure that the vibe fits with the publication. Meaning that you're going to use the wording that is for, again, Wall Street Journal and Cosmopolitan are 2 different demographics. The wording is going to be different on both. So just keep that in mind as well. And that's a really good guarantee that you'll get into those newspapers and magazines. The platforms are Quoted. And the other one is, I'm going to put it in the chat. It's SOS by Peter Shankman. I know, Heather, you're in the founders program, so I'll post it in there later on. But he is the person who started Harrow, which was Help a Reporter Out. Cision bought Harrow, and then he created his own. So it's the same for those that are familiar with Harrow. It's the same format. You get an email. I believe it's only twice a day. Harrow was 3 times a day. And Sometimes the deadlines are fast. Sometimes the deadlines are like today by 5 p.m. And I feel that journalists, when they do send those out, they are trying to get things into their editor's deadline. So pitch it as fast as you can. And when you get published, so set a Google alert for your name. If you haven't done so yet, set a Google alert for your name. So when that publication hits, you'll get a Google alert. Usually the journalist will reach out to you and say it's going to come out at such and such date. Sometimes they're so busy that they don't have the opportunity to do that. But when you get that Google alert, share that article everywhere and tag the publication and the journalist. Because the more viewers, the more readers, the more shares, the more engagement, the more successful that journalist is. And in the future, they will remember your name when you go to pitch again. And they will remember that you posted it everywhere, because that also helps them to be more successful. Editors want more clicks, they want more views because it's more advertising revenue, and it's all connected. So if you can give them love and continuously to do that, even like scheduling them out, even like a month from now, 2 months from now, put it on your website, put it in your signature, it will help to make you stand out. Okay, next question. Best ways to locate someone affordable to help draft a business plan other than the Retired Executives Organization. Best ways to locate someone affordable to help draft a business plan. I would probably look, no one in our community comes to mind. I'm sure we have someone. You're more than welcome to post it in our group to see. You can check the directory as well. I'm not really sure the FemCity directory. I don't know if we have business plan as a field to search for. However, Upwork and Fiverr are two platforms where I've actually hired freelancers. I would look into those publications, or rather those websites, to see. But I would post it in FemCity first, because I'm sure out of the 20,000 women, I'm sure we have someone there. A small business center may be able to help and even offer free resources. Excellent idea, Heather. Yeah, the SBA. I mean, take a look at the SBA and see if they have a class there as well. So sorry, I can't help more on that. I do business plans for like fun. So there's, that's like my dirty side. Suggestions for finding solopreneurs to share my office space. I would definitely post those in FemCity's Facebook group, the local one. I would post it probably on your local Craigslist. I would post it probably on your Facebook group, on Instagram. I know my daughter, as an example, was looking for roommates, and she posted on her stories, and she was able to find two really great roommates. And so I feel the same would be okay with you with office space, just posting it in local places, but definitely check FemCity first and post it there, because that way you know the person, right? It's just FemCity is a smaller community, so you kind of know, or someone knows that person, so you'll be able to kind of do a little bit more background check in that situation. I've been missing Violet and these sessions, so I'm looking forward to it. Yay! So the question there. Okay, so those were all the questions that I got in. So now it's time to open it up. Any questions that you all have, or anything that you want to talk about?
So yeah, I actually had something which is more, maybe it's more feasible for like a supported group type of thing, but I felt just kind of very meh this January.
Mm,
Just very, I had goals and I had things that I wanted to do. And I'm actually going to be looking forward to your, step by step kind of thing, where to like really set small goals and track progress and put those goals in the calendar. And like, I really know in theory everything that I should be doing.
yeah.
But I seem to always have found, actually since December, I think, just to found, right now it's time to be with family, which was nice and everything. Like our daughters were home and, they went back to university. So it was really good. But even now, when I have time to do what I need to do, I just kind of, I don't feel like it. So, any advice? Am I not alone? Hopefully. And, what would you recommend to motivate me a little bit?
I love that, Dad. Yeah. So thank you so much for asking that. I think that's a common sentiment. I know the founders. I mean, I always go back to the founders, and all three of you are founders. I go back to the founders because we see each other all the time, every day, pretty much. And I feel like that has been a growing theme for the month of January. I think that, at least for myself, I think what's happening with me is that there's just so much noise out there. There's so much going on that it energetically depletes me. It's just too much. It's too much going on. It's chaos. And so for myself, I have found not reading the news, not getting on social media, not being a part of that, and spending more time being grounded. More, I know you can't really walk outside because it's freezing cold where you are, but even just doing things like reading a nice book, like really just taking the time to heal and kind of just dive in a little bit. That's the first thing that I would do is when I start feeling like that, I kind of go in a little bit and say, like, what's really happening where I'm feeling so exhausted and so tired. And then the second thing is then to go ahead and just revisit your goals and see how you can re-fall in love with them. It could be also that you're just sometimes we don't know where to start because we've taken so much time away that we're just like a little like, oh, I don't know where to start. Like it's just, and I don't want to start because I don't know where to start. So I'm just not going to start. So I would think about like what are your goals for 2025 and start finding that little connection, that little spark again between your goals and the work that you do. And if you're not finding that spark, look to see how you can massage and stay in your area of expertise, but massage it a little bit so that you do have more enjoyment, more filling your cup. So what are the elements about your business that bring you joy? What are the things that fill your cup when you're working with your business? Do more of those and see how you can expand that. As an example, I love helping women start businesses and I love helping women expand. And so I had an idea this morning. I was like, I really need to do more things that fill my cup. I'm thinking about starting like a business club, like a really quick 6-week business club where I work with a handful of women in a group setting because I really enjoy that. So looking to see what are the things that you enjoy, what brings you joy, and then just trying to do a little piece every day. Not, you don't have to do the bigger pieces, but see if you can at least every day just do a little step closer and closer. And eventually the love and that reconnection will happen. But I feel like it's January has a lot of heaviness because you're coming off the holidays. Everyone's gone back to their schooling. The kids have gone back. And you're kind of like, okay, I've got to clean up my house. I got to get things organized. I got to figure out what was I doing again? Like, where was I going? Like, what am I supposed to be thinking about? Just get everything organized before diving in. Just clean it all up, get it all organized, and then work on that reconnection with your love. I know you love the work that you do, Dalia. I know it brings you joy. Think about what are the things that you most enjoy and then start there. Does that help you?
Yeah, so much. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. You're not alone though.
Yeah.
So, hey, Erica. Nice that you're here with us. Thank you. All right. Anybody else have a question or thing that you want to talk about? Go ahead, Heather.
Yay, thank you. I guess it's overwhelm, but it's sort of that positive creative overwhelm. Like I
Mm,
have a lot of different projects on the go, or I have the author side of me, the serving clients side of me, the business marketer side of me, and I'm finding it a little hard to stay grounded in
yep.
how to leverage like what things are actually. I like this idea of falling in love again with the work, but I feel like I fall in love with all of them. And I don't know how to, and yet it's not landing. Like I know I need cash.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm trying to find like the common threads and
Yep.
to know which ones to focus on that can leverage. And the low hanging fruit works, but it's, I am looking more sort of on a longevity platform foundations, this kind of thing. So any guidance on how you deal with the overwhelm when you're doing like
Yeah.
5 different things that you love?
Yeah. I love that. So I taught a workshop for FemCity Miami on Friday, and I taught the same workshop for San Antonio a couple days before. And an example that I give them is when I used to be a Pilates instructor and I owned a Pilates studio. January would always bring my students back to the studio, and they'd always come back with this. This is my year, Violet. This year, I'm going to give up caffeine, sugar, alcohol. I'm going to sleep 8 hours, 9 hours a day. I'm going to give up gluten. I'm going to be vegan. I'm going to run a marathon. Okay. So already 7 things. And it wasn't just one student. They would all come to me with all of these. And what do you think happens after 5 days? Right. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. So that's kind of, I mean, I know for you, Heather, and again, I know you well, so I know that the tasks are not gluten, sugar, caffeine, alcohol. However, it's the same thing. When we have too many things going on, it waters us down and it makes us overwhelmed, and then nothing's showing up. Like you're saying, cash. Cash is not showing up because you're watering yourself down. I like that you mentioned your low-lying fruit. I recognize that you say, I like the low-lying fruit, but it's not longevity, it's not sustainability. However, if you focus on the low-lying fruit and you get cash in your pocket, and that frees up spiritually, mentally, emotionally, it frees up the block that we get. So whenever we worry about things, it puts like a gray cloud on top of us, and it doesn't allow anything else to come in creatively, your intuition, clarity. It just messes us up. So anytime we're in that state, so I'm a huge believer of making your bills, whatever it takes to make your bills, focus on that. Get that strong, get that going, get it so that you have money coming in and it's solid. Once you have that core, the clarity will release itself. And then you'll be able to say, okay, now I'm going to work on this second piece. So just like my students, they'd come in with like their 7 things, and I'd say, let's just focus on giving up gluten for 6 weeks. Just do that. Keep with your alcohol, keep with your caffeine, keep with your, just focus on one. After 6 weeks, when you no longer are addicted to gluten and it no longer is a thought, then you add in getting rid of the sugar. Do that for a couple weeks. So, and then get that so it's habitual. So you're not thinking about it, and then add the other one in. That's where you're setting yourself up for success. That's where you're like, it's easy, it's light, it's freeing, it's liberating. You're setting yourself up not only for success, but you're also going to feel successful. You're going to be like, you know what? I have now money in the bank. I have money coming in. It may not bring you the most joy. You know what I mean? Like it may not be the most but it's money coming in. It feels good to you. It's good work. It's honest work. It's ethical work. Like you're doing good work in the world. Then you add in your other stuff. Eventually, when you have the 7, I know you're writing a book. I know you have like 5 things going on. So eventually what you want to do is you want to then duplicate that with your other items and have those start bringing in income as well. And then you can go ahead, and so that's eventually you move on to those. It's not to say that you can't do this and you can't do that. It's that you're just going to focus on one thing at a time so that you stay sane. Does that help you? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And I think it's
Yeah.
always, I'm thinking about how to, because I've done ones where I'm like, I'm doing that. And then I feel like the other parts of my business building have been neglected, like the longevity of focusing on the email subscribers and getting the, new clients in. Like, I feel like that's where my stagnation is, but it feels like that's more like a long-term nurturing and all of it that, I'm trying to find that short-term and long-term stability with it. But yeah, no, it definitely, where I'm seeing where money can actually come, and then I can put the efforts into those actions.
Yeah, you'll have
Yeah.
clarity then. And
Yeah.
then you can say, you know what? I feel really good this week. I got my stuff going. I got money coming in. This week, I'm going to start adding in creating nurturing emails as an example. I'm going to start creating nurturing emails. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, you know what? Now I'm going to start following up with networking contacts. Then you start. If you notice during the pandemic, when with FemCity, I mean, it was crazy, right? We had like 200 events. I think at the time we had 140 chapters. I think we had like 200 events that we had to cancel off our website. It was insane. I stopped doing the email marketing piece. I didn't send out anything motivational. I was like in the mode of making sure that we survived and we were there for women. So all the other things kind of left. And then like I just started doing the motivational emails like a month ago, 2 months ago, because I feel like FemCity now is stable enough that I'm like, okay, let me go back into brings me joy, brings me love. So sometimes we remove those things, but add them in as you can and start adding them in, but calmly. It's too much, Heather. It's too much. It's like, yeah, yeah. All these people that say do everything like that, like I don't know what book says that we do that, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then we sit on the sofa watching Netflix because we're depressed and we feel like a loser because all the things we wanted to do didn't map out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and even that challenge of when it's a solopreneur, you have to, that's the difference between the solopreneur versus having staff, like as a small business, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah. We are three with FemCity. You guys know that. We are three people that run FemCity. Lynn, myself, Kyra. That's it. Everyone thinks we have I mean, we have, obviously an attorney on retainer. We have a marketing team on retainer. We have a bookkeeper. Like we have all those things, but for the most part, like it is literally just us running everything, trying to manage all the different pieces. It's hard. It's not easy, but you can do it. You're just going to do it calm, systematically, like in a process kind of way, layering on top of layering, making sure that that foundation is really strong, though. Good. Good. Awesome. We have
Yeah.
9 minutes. Go ahead, Arnetta.
No, I was just going to say good luck to her because I understand the struggles, and I'm not sure what everyone
Yeah.
does in this group, but I know that as a solopreneur, someone who holds their own schedule, when I go into like a corporate setting or lately, like I'm working on my dissertation, I'm in school working on my doctorate, and so I had practicum. Practicum, I showed up because I wanted to get the thing over with, 40 plus hours a week. I was on someone else's schedule, so I showed up, right? When I want to show up for myself, I tend to give myself allowances that aren't necessary. So I'm trying to take what I gave that company or that site the same level of energy. And I think that kind of helps. Even right now, I'm in an onboarding process where I'm about to start internship in 4 weeks. I have 4 weeks to do my dance with my personal businesses, right? And so for me this week, I said, okay, hard stuff first because I'm in avoidance with my dissertation writing. That stuff sucks. I don't want to do it. And then it sucks. It really does. And so the other thing was, okay, Monday, just focus on this thing. Like, that list you have? All have lists. Focus on Monday is going to be just for this. And then we want to escape and do the other stuff, the fun stuff, like I keep fighting myself. Don't do that. That's on Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, so today I said, you know what? You're home. Figure it out. Go put some makeup on. You're going to show up for FemCity today. You know what I mean? Because I've been putting it off for so long. But I think because we have control over our schedules and we're all over the place with our schedules, I mean, for me this week, it doesn't work every time. I'm trying to designate certain tasks on certain particular days and fight all the fun stuff, fight the things that I want to run to when I don't want to do the stuff that I'm supposed to do on
Right.
that day. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I hope that helps. And I don't really have a major question because I think I probably just need a one-on-one with you, but I think that I'm curious and I'm excited about doing the website. I would love to build up my community, the FemCity Houston group, but the website offer is really great. I have a horrible picture that I don't like right now that I would just use it as a placeholder, but I just want to know if it's okay if I change that thing out once I do the headshot and the whole thing that I want. Because I am in a space of rebranding myself because
Yeah.
I picked up my coaching practice on by accident and I want to do that normally. You know how we attract people organically, like when we're not in
Yeah.
sales mode. I
Yeah.
had a wonderful client like that towards the end of last year, and I want more like that, but I hate the salesy stuff because it's just so inauthentic. So
Mm,
suggest for that, like building,
yeah.
I want 5 clients. I don't want to I'm in school right now, so I really am not trying to kill myself and I have a lot of fun energy and coaching makes me happy. How do you build that clientele without the salesy stuff and being your organic self? Because I would love more people. Someone called me on the phone and I was at the grocery store and they were asking me questions about coaching and therapy. And I'm like, oh girl, blah, 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 blah. And then it was a sales call. I realized, oh my God, it's a sales call. Let me fix it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I want more of that in my life this year.
Yeah, I love that. And shout out to you, Arnetta. So Arnetta went with us to the FemCity trip 2 years ago, right? When we went to
Maybe
Italy,
about 3 years ago. It was a
3 years
3 year.
ago.
Yeah.
And she was working on her doctorate and she was getting up at the wee hours because we were in Italy. She was getting up in the wee hours, doing class and joining us on the excursions. It was like crazy commitment. So I just want to give you some extra love for that. So impressive. Okay. So that's a great question. How do we create sales without being salesy? And here's my answer to
Thank
that.
you.
Because that's pretty much what your question is, right, Arnetta? Like how do you do sales without being salesy? Did I freeze? Do you guys see me?
Yeah.
Okay. My computer said my internet is unstable. So,
Now,
okay, now it's good. Okay. Um, Here's what I do. I don't ever sell anything. I am in service of others. That is my only goal in life, is to serve others. How do I serve others? I serve others by creating a community for them, which they support with their membership, right? Because FemCity is membership supported. So it's not a sales, it's literally, I have a community for you. It's not for everyone, but when it is, it feels super yummy and it's inclusive and it's all about helping each other out and we're all equal and we all rise together and all that stuff. When it comes to my coaching, it's the same thing. I don't ever, did I freeze again? I think I froze. Hello? Hey, ladies, sorry.
The idea of resting.
Mhm.
Resting is really, sorry, Violet,
No, go.
I was just filling in the space.
Yeah, thank you.
I was just saying hello
Aw,
and expressing that it's good to hear women. It's very supportive to hear other women expressing the same things that I'm feeling. And,
yeah,
so I just came to listen. I came to meet you. Um, and I love what you're doing with FemCity. I'm
thank
in
you.
the Hartford one with Julie Allison,
Yes.
and I adore her. I just love, it's different.
Yeah,
And I was just offering before you popped on that the idea of resting.
yeah.
It's really, I don't know if you already mentioned that because I came in a little late, but allow yourself, ladies, allow yourselves to rest. That's my word for the year. And resting has a lot of different elements. It's not just about going and taking a nap,
Yeah,
right? It's not just about taking a bath. It's like I'm a real talker. Like I can talk your ear off. My parents told me to go to law school, which I did because I had a big mouth. I was a very different person then. And now part of resting is being silent, is being
yeah.
quiet, is sitting in quiet, is allowing others to talk and listening, really practicing listening, which is not easy for me to do all the time, although it's part of my job.
Yeah.
I'm good. When I'm in my job, I listen really well. It's when I'm planning meetings, when I'm when I'm collaborating, sometimes I just want to offer my ideas instead of sit back, right? But a real lead, Sandek, I think his name is Sendek. He said that, I forget his first name, but he said that real leaders listen. They go last. They
Yeah.
go last. Like in a meeting, they go last. So I just wanted to offer that.
I love that. Thank you so much. And resting is such a huge piece of, I feel like we're going to need that word more and more. Like I said earlier, the social media stuff, like I considered getting off social media this week because it was just too much for me. It's just too
Yeah.
much. It's just too much energy. Um,
I block stuff out too. It's a time for hibernation.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a, I'm a nutritionist. I'm a board certified holistic nutritionist. So this is my focus, right? And
Yeah,
it's wellness
I love
is my
that.
focus. And so taking care of ourselves first and all of these practical things that you've offered, Violet, are very important.
Thank you.
But the basic thing that we need to do is just rest, take care of, make sure we're sleeping.
Yeah.
If we're menopausal, right? It looks like we're all kind of in the same. I'm probably a little older than you ladies, but you know, we need to just take care of our bodies first and foremost, and then we're going to be able to show up. I find for ourselves and for others, and I find that the less I do, the more I am being, the more I accomplish.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
And I,
That's a good
and I
one.
think, yeah, I think
That's a
yeah,
good
it's
one.
really important for
So
us to do that first.
yeah, hopefully I make it up to West Hartford this year to see you all. So it is 1:30. It's now 1:31. I was addressing Arnetta's question. Do you want me to finish it? It cut off, and so yeah. So sorry, I knew I was going to leave because it kept saying unstable. I'm like, okay, that's not a good sign. Here's what I would do. Here's what I do is that I always come from a place of service, and so because of that, the sales come in. And so I don't get bogged into like, I have to sell this, I have to sell this. I get into like, who can I serve today through my business coaching? who really needs help with their business, with launching their business, with growing their business, with scaling their business. So whenever I come from the part of service, even when I'm coaching them, I'm constantly thinking about what, and a matter of fact, when I coach, my first spiel to them is to say, I'm with you for an hour and I'm giving you everything I have. You are my only focus. So I tell them that at the beginning because that is the true state of our time together. So anytime, Arnetta, that you get into your mind about the sales pitch, go back to the service. How do you help others? What are the God-given gifts that you've been given to share to help others navigate life easier or to live life better or to grow their business stronger? Like, what are those elements that you bring? Come from that place. If you come from there, everything works out. Everything works out. So, and of course, there's sales tactics. I mean, people will say like the referrals and their affiliate links, and there are all these things that you can do that, jazz it up a little bit. But when it comes to sales, like I found like it's really just, sharing everything that I have. And then from that, people are like, you know what, I want to do a one-on-one with you. And so it works out like that. So, but you're not alone. Everyone gets into that sales pitch. No one likes sales. If you say, would you be? No. Oh my gosh, no. But if you're really passionate about, the work that you're doing, it just comes out, right? It just pours out. Like
Yeah.
right now, Erica, about resting, right? She wasn't selling us anything. We felt that she was serving us, though, right? It
Mhm.
felt like she was serving us. It felt like it was coming from a good place. So, anyway. All right, ladies. So we are 3 minutes over. I want to be conscious of your time. It was so great. I do this every month. We always have like 20 people that sign up, and then like 3 or 4 people show up. So I'm so happy you're here. I'm teaching next Tuesday a class. It's free for you all as well. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Create the Life You Want. It's going to be from 1 to 1:30 next Tuesday. I'll record it, but please join me for that. Again, there's no sales pitch on that. It's just me serving you all. So hope to see you there. But I love you all very much. I know, Eric, I just met you, but I'm going to say the same to you. I love you very much. I love all of you very much. So thanks for holding the space for each other.
Thank you for
Right.
all
And we love you.
Oh, thank you, Delia. Delia, I'm going to see you soon. I'm going up to Toronto. I'll be there in March.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going
I
to,
love
I
you
don't
already
know.
too, Violet. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Erica. Delia, I don't know if it's a surprise, so I don't know, but it's
Okay.
for the Markham anniversary, so don't say anything. I don't
I
know. I don't know
won't.
if they know, but I'll be there, so I'd love to see you.
I won't. I will be there. That's so
Okay.
fantastic. Okay. Love you,
Have a
ladies.
nice day.
Bye.